Thank you for joining us for our session of Marshashana Yoga. I'd like to introduce my guest today. Lois Minkovitz is our returning guest. Lois helped us with our last episode on the neck. So she will be doing the postures with us, and you'll see her adjust herself to those postures to honor her body and what she can do with her neck issues. Good morning, Sue.
Good morning, Marsha.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
I know that you have some tightness in your upper back and arthritis in your lower back. But today we're going to discuss your experience with anxiety. Some symptoms of anxiety include chest pain, sometimes mistaken for a heart attack, sweating, and a sense of doom. What symptoms do you personally experience, and when did this originate for you?
It probably started about 10 years ago. And the symptoms are what you described earlier, sense of doom. I get a tightness in my stomach, a tightness in my chest, the feeling of an inability to take a deep breath.
Well, everyone has anxiety at times. Some people experience it so intensely that it hurts their health. Instead of a little nervousness, a person with anxiety can experience migraines, insomnia, dizziness, heart palpitations, shortened breath, stomach issues, nausea, or obsessive thinking. And it's interesting, too, how those who worry excessively can take longer to heal. One study showed that a group of people with psoriasis took twice as long to heal as another group who listened to guided meditation, while both groups underwent the same conventional ultraviolet treatments. Also, people with anxiety tend to get caught up in focusing on their symptoms, but not on the underlying causes. Anxiety is useful if there is real danger that might be avoided, but thinking obsessively about a problem when this further thinking does not bring any more insight can only make the situation worse. One of the main ways yoga helps is by focusing on the breath. We all know that when we're anxious or afraid, our breathing may be uneven and ragged, or we may even hold our breath. But when we're calm, the breath is smooth and regular. Anxious breathing tends to stay in the chest and doesn't engage the diaphragm fully. One way to help is to focus on the exhalation. As the exhalation gets longer, the inhalation will naturally become deeper. Also, people with anxiety tend to be tighter in the muscles that are between the ribs. When breathing is rapid, shallow, and uneven, it stimulates the sympathetic nervous system, and that releases stress hormones and also increases the output of carbon dioxide, which increases agitation. Sue, let me ask you, how does this anxiety play out in your daily life?
It makes it difficult. It makes it difficult for me to go out and do things I want to do. It pretty much controls my life. I don't like it.
Absolutely. Besides breath work, yoga also teaches us to observe our thoughts, perhaps then taming them before they become full-blown. Yoga also cultivates using the opposite thought. For example, counting one's blessings instead. And if you can slow down the rush of thoughts, or what we refer to in yoga as the monkey mind, and observe the thoughts, you can begin to see more clearly what is going on in your mind. Gratitude, too, which increases along with your yoga practice, can decrease anxiety. And the idea of surrendering to the universe removes the control from your hands. In addition, notice how your emotional state is connected to the food you eat, the books you read, the shows you watch, or the people you're with. Sue, although we know that food affects us, have you had experience with what you watch on television or who you're with affects your anxiety level for that day?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. If I'm watching something on television that's a stress-invoking type show, I can feel my breath getting shallower and shallower. And if I'm with someone who drives me crazy, the same thing will happen.
That certainly makes sense. Well, we know that cutting back on junk food and caffeine helps. It is also thought in Ayurveda, a holistic approach to medicine, that warm cooked food is better for those with anxiety than cold raw food. The addition of omega-3s and vitamin B can help. Aromatherapy with a nice, maybe a lavender scent is good. Regular aerobic exercise and psychotherapy can also decrease your symptoms. There are numerous studies that show that a yoga practice that includes breath work and postures can be very successful in reducing anxiety. These studies are ongoing, again bringing yoga into the mainstream. For anxiety, long-held standing poses or sun salutation are not good. Hot yoga is not good. Restorative is not helpful for anxiety because staying too long in one position can be difficult for people with anxiety. They're kind of wired out. Back bends, not good either because they're too stimulating. Inversions are good when the head is below the pelvis, such as in down dog. At home, legs up against the wall is beneficial. So you just bring your hip to the wall and you bring your feet up against the wall with your legs straight. Perhaps you have a small pillow under your head. Perhaps if you have a lower back issue, you have a rolled blanket, and that is very helpful. Now we will move to the mat. We begin here in Shavasana, relying on our mats. Palms are up, legs are relaxed, eyes are closed. Sometimes we like to use an eye bag, as Sue is doing. And we're going to bring our attention to our breath. We're observing the rise and the fall. Noticing the inhalation and the exhalation. And just relaxing here. We're establishing this mind-body connection that we have by bringing our attention to our breath. As concerns come to mind, just allow them to drift away or to move to the side. And without judging, come back to your breath. Just begin to deepen your inhalation a little bit and lengthen your exhalation a little bit. And just return to your normal breath. As you inhale, inhale a sense of stillness and peace. And as you exhale, allow the back body to relax. Now we'll begin a three-part breath. So we'll first begin by inhaling into the abdomen, and then the rib cage, and then the chest. And just pausing at the top, not holding your breath, but pausing, and then exhaling chest, rib cage, diaphragm. Once more, inhaling into the abdomen, filling it like a vessel, expanding the rib cage laterally, and lifting the chest. Pause. Exhale, chest, rib cage, abdomen. One more time, into the diaphragm, the rib cage, the chest. And exhaling fully. And just returning to your normal breath. Now, on your next inhalation, I want you to count your inhalation to a count of 5, but on your exhalation, count to 7 or perhaps 8. You can do this on your own. So we're going to begin 3 breaths in this way. Inhaling to the count of 5, exhaling to the count of 7 or 8. Begin. And then when you're done, just return to your normal breath. And now you can open your eyes or remove your eye bags and just begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. And then begin by pointing your feet and then flexing them. Pointing them, feeling a nice stretch across the top of the feet, and then flexing them and keeping your calves and ankles on the floor and feeling a nice stretch that way. And one more time, pointing and flexing. Bring them back to neutral. Take your feet a little bit wider apart and begin to rotate, making circles with your ankles. And just keeping the movement fairly slow. And then coming to center and going in the opposite direction. And feeling that nice release in your ankles, lubricating the ankles, and then taking your feet slightly wider apart, hip distance, and bringing your big toes together. And then bringing the sides of the feet to the floor, like old-fashioned windshield wipers. And just wiping in and out like that, like a windshield wiper. We're opening the hips, lubricating the hips, preparing for the asanas, the postures that we'll be doing today. And then bring your feet a little closer together again, and once more point and flex. Bring your feet to neutral. Keep your toes towards the ceiling, but not gripping. And bring your arms straight up, your wrists directly over your shoulders. And just open and close your fists loosely. Just a gentle stretching and opening, keeping your arms nice and long. This is great for arthritis in the hands. And then take your palms and point them, face them up towards the ceiling. And then point your fingers to the floor. Palms up. fingers down. Stretching through the tops of the hands. One more time, palms up, keeping your arms long and straight, and fingers down. Come up to a neutral position and rotate slowly your ankles. Your wrists. Rotate your wrists. Go in the opposite direction. And then bring your hands, your palms facing each other, and reach through the fingertips behind you and stretch through the heels in front of you. Try to notice your body. Is it straight and nice and even? Toes are pointed to the ceiling. Breathe here. Even though you're somewhat compromised, continue to stay with your breath. Inhale. Exhale your arms down to your sides in time with your breath. Bring your arms up again. Shoulders remain on the floor. Interlace your fingers to the webbing and push the palms to the ceiling. Inhale to your chest. Exhale to the corner of the wall and the ceiling. Inhale to your chest. Exhale to the ceiling. Once again, inhaling. Exhale to the corner of the wall and ceiling. And inhale again to chest. Exhale to the ceiling. Separate your hands, face them towards each other, and bring them above you. And once again, stretch fully the length of your body. And while you're here, add a little pelvic tilt, bringing the pelvis towards the face, and then releasing, and then exhaling your arms down. Now bring your feet to the floor one at a time, and just remove the pillow from your head and set it to the side. And now bring your knees to the chest one at a time and gently rock them. As we begin to warm up the lower back, an area of problem for many people, and then just gently rock them side to side. Bring them back to center. Hug your legs in, your knees in if you're able. Remember to always honor your body. There should never be pain in yoga, but a nice balance of ease and effort. Bring them back to the floor one at a time. Lengthen again and stretch top to bottom. Breathing and exhaling your arms down. Bring your feet to the floor one at a time. Bring your knees to your chest one at a time. Gently rock them. Now cross your ankles. Take your hands to the top of your knees, fingertips pointing forward, and begin to gently rotate along the sacrum, the lower back, if you're able. Feeling each muscle, tendon, bone as you roll over them, and a little mini massage for your back. And then come to center, change the cross of your ankles, and begin to rotate in the other direction slowly. Again, we keep the movement slow so that the monkey mind doesn't take over and run away. And if we keep it slow, we tend to stay more with the body. Come to center and cross your legs, gently rock them again. And then bring your feet to the floor one at a time, and once again, stretch through. Stretching, add that pelvic tilt if you can. Release it, release your arms down. Now bring your left foot to the floor and take your belt. If you have a belt at home, we're using some props today, including the belt. You can use anything that you have. Bring it around the center of your foot and the arch of your foot and extend your leg as much as you can. Now, some people will be here. Some people will be here, some people will be over their head, depending on your flexibility. Now, the goal is to keep your shoulders on the floor, keep your legs straight, keep your arms straight. Don't wrap the belt, but hold it right here. That's right. And then inhale and bring that to your chest. We're stretching the hamstrings, and then bringing the sole of the foot up to the ceiling as much as you can. Now, keep that other leg straight and keep your toes pointed to the ceiling. Very good. Once again, bring it into your chest. And let's go again and see if we can get just a little more extension, feeling that lengthening of the hamstring. Another area of tightness for a lot of people. Now you can bring that other foot up to the floor. Let's leave that on the floor, which I should have done, and I apologize. And if eventually you can lengthen that leg, but it's easier to keep that leg on the floor. Now just allow the belt to drop. Just bring your foot back down and cross that foot over your other leg. Don't worry about your belt for now, just let it lay. Bring your ankle across your knee. Take your left hand and just open your thigh up a little bit. And slide that left hand up to your knee. Take your right hand to the other knee and bring this to your chest. That's right. Breathe. And then allow that foot to drop down. And let the other one cross all the way over. Okay, Sue?
Yep.
Okay. And just allow that to cross all the way over. Yeah, that's right. Now take your right hand, put it to your knees. Take your left hand to a slight T on the floor and let your legs drop right as your head moves slowly to the left. Go only so far as you're able. Breathe into your abdomen here. Now, in twists, we're releasing toxins from the body and also emotions. Inhale to center. Uncross your legs. Lengthen and stretch again. And exhale down. Now bring your opposite foot to the floor and take the other leg up by placing the belt around the arch of your foot. So keep that opposite foot on the floor to give you a little more stability. Allow your shoulders to be on the floor. Allow your arms to be straight. So take your belt wherever it will make your arms straight, Sue. That's right. Now, this is a new posture for Sue, so she's learning along with you at home. Now bring that into your chest and exhale back up. Spread your toes. Put that sole of the foot towards the ceiling. Make sure that opposite knee is not flailing out to the side. Bring it in again to the chest. Extend it up. Try not to grip your belt too hard. Try to let it be natural. Stretching that hamstring, pushing that thigh towards that wall in front of you. Try to keep your chin even. Now just allow the belt to drop and bring that other leg and cross the ankle over the opposite leg. Take your right hand and open up your thigh a little, trying to get a little more opening in the hips. Then extend your right hand up to your knee, bring the left to your left knee, and just bring that up to your chest. Keep your chin even. Don't allow your chin to jut up in the air. Inhale. And exhale. And then bring that to the ground. Bring your leg all the way over. And take your right hand to a slight T on the floor. Take your left to your knees and let your knees drop to the left as your head moves slowly to the right. Breathe. And inhale to center. Uncross your legs. Bring them one at a time to your chest and gently rock them. And then bring your feet to the floor. Now just put your belt to the side. And bring your shoulder blades one at a time. Bring them down so that you're reaching down with your fingers. Your palms are on the floor now, on the mat. Bring your feet to the, yep, you're in a good position there. Bring your feet to the floor, Lois. And then just push up into bridge pose. So you're going to push up and try to lift the pelvis. The chin comes to the neck, to the chest, sorry. And then exhale and just come down one vertebrae at a time. And stretch from top to bottom. Exhale your arms down. And then just roll to your right side and gently come up. We'll come to a position where we're sitting. Let's sit, we'll face this way, their legs out. we're going to take our arms straight up. Our torso is straight. And then we're going to fold forward as much as you can, but the idea is to lift your chest. So only coming so far as is able. You're going to feel a stretch through your hamstrings. We're also relaxing the back as we hold this posture. And then coming up. Now take your left leg and just move it out slightly to the side and bring your right sole of your foot to that thigh. And just turn your body ever so slightly so that you're facing that, and inhale up, and again reach forward, lift your chest. And then come back up, extend that other leg out to the side slightly, bring your other sole of your foot in. Face your body towards this leg, reach up, and extend forward, lift the chest. Very good. Keep those yoga toes pointed at the ceiling, kind of one of those cardinal rules that we have. Keeping the toes up. And breathe into this stretch. And then just come back up. Bring your legs once again to center. Tap your legs. So just tapping them, creating some circulation in the legs. And then inhaling and rounding up. Exhaling back. Inhale up, round back. Inhale up, exhale down. Now we're going to go the opposite direction. Inhaling up, exhaling forward. Inhaling up, exhaling forward. Inhaling up, exhaling forward. Now just shrug your shoulders up to your ears. Exhale, ha, ha. Inhale up, exhale, ha. One more time, inhale up, exhale, ha. Now bring your legs to a simple seated position, if you're able. Now in here, we're going to use the blocks to support the knees. So if your knees don't reach down comfortably, we're going to use the blocks at whatever angle. You can tilt them in at an angle. If you don't have blocks, it's perfectly fine to use whatever you have. Around the house, you can use some pillows. And then just sitting very straight, we're going to take your right hand to the floor. You can also do this in a chair with your legs at the floor if you're in that situation. But inhaling up and then reaching over and getting a nice stretch through that left side. And then inhaling and using that arm to come up and down. Inhale the other arm up and slide to the other side. Stretching that right side out. And then inhaling up, coming back to center. Now reach out over that left knee and place your hands on the floor and just feel a stretch through that side. Now you might feel this right in your right hip. Walking back. Let's reach out over the other side. Straighten your torso. Bring yourself out. And then walk yourself back. And just for a moment, reach forward and round your back this time. Round it. Bring your head down. And then walk back up. And now we'll just move to a table position on the mat. So you can face whichever direction you can see me best, Sue and Lois. And in this position, the shoulders are directly over your wrists. Very important. And your hips are right over your knees so that you can be in a posture that protects your knees. And use the flat side, the tops of your feet to anchor down into that. And inhale, raise your head forward. Exhale, tuck up into hissing cat. Inhale forward. Exhale up. Inhale forward. Exhale up. Now we're going to raise our left hand and our right foot. and just gazing out straight ahead and balancing. Now use the top of your other foot to push down to balance. Now bring that down, take it to the other side, and release. Now take your left foot and tuck it out behind you, and then bring it across it over the other leg. Come back into table. Stretch the other leg out. Curl your toes and give a good stretch. And then come out behind and cross over. And then coming back. And then we're going to come up and we're going to take off the blanket.
Okay.
Removing your blanket and just setting it to the side. Once again, we will come down to the mat, coming in once again to table position. This time, though, we're going to move forward into down dog. In down dog, the palms are nice and flat. Your index finger is pointing straight forward. Your pinky is coming almost to the edge of the mat. Tuck your toes and come on up into down dog, lengthening through the arms and through the rib cage. And then bring yourself over into a plank pose. And Lois is accommodating for her shoulders by what she's doing. And then come back to down dog, pushing back up, and come to child's pose. On your knees, separate your knees, put your toes together, rest your head. So we're just resting for a moment. On this show, we have real people. They're not yoga experts. They're following along and learning with us, which we love. And so now we're just going to come up to a standing position. We're going to begin in Tadasana, or mountain pose. In Tadasana, we are lifting the toes, spreading them, placing them down firmly. We're noticing that our feet are even and parallel. Our thighs, we tighten the thighs up, tuck the tummy to the spine. The shoulders move back slightly as the chest moves forward. And we breathe here. Now we'll try a little balance by, first of all, inhaling and lifting the toes, and exhaling and putting them down. Inhaling. Exhaling. Now next time we're going to raise our hands halfway, keeping them below shoulder level, and then coming up on our toes by getting a gaze point in front of us. So we're attempting to do a little balancing here, strengthening right from the toes all the way through the hips, and then coming down. Now once more, we're going to come up on the toes, and if possible, raising the arms overhead. And then exhaling down. Now we're going to step wide. Step the feet wide, as wide apart as possible. We're going to have them even and parallel. Hands can come to the hips. We're going to turn out that left foot all the way. We're going to turn the right one in a little bit, so it's angled in slightly. That's right. But we're going to try to face the torso to the front of the room. And then inhaling, you're extending through your arms. Keep them at shoulder level, so drop them down a little, Sue, that's right. And then we're going to exhale, inhale, exhale, bend that forward knee and look out over your hand. Gaze out strongly in Warrior Two, Virabhadrasana 2. Now keep that back thigh up and lifted. The front one is always parallel to the floor. So the goal in this is to keep your knee at a 90-degree angle, right like she's doing. Lois, you need to come back a little because yep. Okay. Or you can lengthen the width. All right, now come back up to center. Because remember, people with anxiety, we don't want to hold those standing poses too long. So we're going to now turn the opposite foot out all the way. This one in a little bit. Face your torso to the front of the room. Extend, inhale, and breathe. Now exhale and bend that forward knee. Make sure, check your knee. Make sure it's right over your ankle. Make sure your arms are at shoulder length or below and gaze out strongly over that hand. Strong warrior pose. Keep that back thigh lifted. Breathe. Now come back up, bring your hands to your hips, and toe heel together. Inhale. Exhale. Now we begin a flow. This is a nice calming flow that I enjoy very much. So beginning in Tadasana, we're going to spin the palms. We're going to inhale. We're going to exhale to forward fold. Inhale your wings halfway up. Exhale them down. Keep your gaze about a foot in front of you on the floor. Bend your knees. Inhale, push. Exhale to prayer. Inhale. Forward fold. Exhale. Use your breath. Inhale, arms halfway. Exhale down. Inhale, bend your knees, push. Exhale to prayer. Inhale. Hold. Inhale, wings up halfway. Exhale them down. Bend, push. Exhale to prayer. Inhale. Fold. Wings halfway. Wings down. Bend, push. Exhale. Again, inhale. Fold. Wings up. Wings down. Bend, push. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Fold. Wings up. Wings down. Push. Exhale to prayer. Okay, we're going to come down to the mat. We'll come down to our sides for a moment. This way. We'll be going both ways, so it won't matter, I guess. But we're going to extend the arm underneath our arm. We're going to stack the legs at 90 degrees in front of us. And just inhale your arm up to your other arm. Bring it to touch your other fingers. Exhale it down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale. Exhale. And just rest one moment here. Now as we inhale, next time we'll bring the arm up, but we'll extend the leg to the toe to the floor, like this. And exhaling back to position. Inhale, extend. Exhale. Now just bring yourself gently around to the other side. Put your arm under your head. Stack your knees. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale down. Inhale. Exhale and rest. And now as you inhale the arm up, extend your toe down. Exhale back. Inhale, stretch. Exhale back. Now just roll to your stomach. Place your hands on your head with your head turned to one side or the other. Allow your feet to just relax. They can be straight back or pointed in, whatever's comfortable. And we'll just begin crocodile breath by just breathing into the abdomen here so that you feel your abdomen push against the floor. Nice deep breath and then exhaling. Inhaling. And exhaling. And just doing this at your own pace. And then just turn your head to the opposite side. And do 4 more breaths like this. And just gently roll to your back. If you'd like to bring your pillow below your head, we'll again return to Shavasana. Palms are up, body is relaxed. Again, bring your attention to your breath. Noticing the rise and the fall. And as you rest here, I'll just read to you a little bit. Through meditation, we are able to go inside and see more clearly what's going on with our thoughts and our emotions. We become a witness to the goings-on in our minds. So just continue to rest in this position for a moment. Begin to relax your toes. Relaxing each toe, relaxing your legs, allowing them to feel heavy on the mat. Soften your abdomen and relax your internal organs. Allow your arms to be heavy and relax each of your fingers. Let the back body descend. The shoulders be soft. Release the chest and soften the heart. Relax your facial muscles, the corners of your mouth. Relax your tongue. Relax the corners of your eyes. Soften your eyes. And just begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. And roll to your side, your right side. And then bring yourself to a simple seated position on the mat. Allow your palms to be up. Cup your hands together in front of your heart and keeping your finger, your thumb and your pinky finger together. Breathe and open up the lotus flower. Right over the crown of your head, allow it to fill with blessings. And then exhale and closing it and bringing it down to your heart center. And let us bow our heads, bowing the thinking mind to the inner wisdom of the heart. May the long-time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way home. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you, Lois and Sue.
Thank you, Marsha.
Thank you,
you,
everyone
Marsha.
at home.